And we're live, back again. DevOps Days Pittsburgh. This is Andrew Clay Schaefer, and we are going to be having a little DevOps Days over here in Pittsburgh. And we're also trying to get a little chat with some of the sponsors, and today I'm joined by one of the sponsors. He's a community manager for CFEngine. I'll let him tell a bit more about himself. Jonathan Thorpe.
Hi, thanks, Andrew. So my name's Jonathan Thorpe. I'm the technical community manager at CFEngine. I've been working at CFEngine for a couple of months, and CFEngine has quite a community that's been a little quiet over time. We've not made as much noise as some of the other people, so I'm here to mix things up a bit to make sure that CFEngine is back on the map.
Well, what's your background? What did you do before you came to CFEngine?
Yeah, I've got quite a varied background, from working in development to a little bit of work in the networking infrastructure and operation side of things, to support, then tools and installation automation, bit of management, and on my way over to doing more customer-facing side of things, because I felt that if I was just staying in the engineering side, I was not really as in touch with the business side of things as other people. So some people get an MBA. I decided to do pre-sales work and then more field-based things while being involved in the DevOps community and eventually as a community manager for CFEngine.
Excellent. And I've been asking everyone the same question. What does DevOps mean to you?
Well, for me, number one, DevOps isn't new. The cool thing about having the name DevOps, though, is that it gives people something they can do a Google search for example. Back in the day when I was working, spanning the gaps between dev and operations, trying to make everybody work effectively together, there really wasn't anything you can search on. You could say, well, how do we work together more effectively? You get all sorts of things. Now you can say, right, what is this DevOps thing that helps you collaborate? People talk about CAMs, the culture, automation, measurement, and sharing. I think, as long as you really focus on the communication side of things, focusing on people working more effectively together, then I think you've captured the core of DevOps. The delivering software faster will come as part of that.
Works for me. Let's try that.
Yeah.
So going back to kind of your mission now as a CFEngine community manager, maybe you could tell us a little bit about CFEngine, what you see. I know personally, my involvement with Puppet and kind of the whole space, and I'm good friends with Adam Jacob and the Chef guys as well. But Mark Burgess, the author of CFEngine, he's kind of the great godfather, grandfather of a lot of these ideas, at least on the kind of the tool and automation side, that become this modern idea around DevOps and using these tools to solve some of these problems. So maybe we could talk a little bit about CFEngine and sort of how you see that. And to your point, like CFEngine has been maybe a little quieter than some of the others for the recent past.
Yeah, Mark kind of doesn't like it when we call him the father, the grandfather, whatever. But it's true. He's been working in this area for a long time, and let's face it, when people were doing things with scripts earlier, putting things out manually back in like 20 years ago when CFEngine first came about, it was really limiting as to what people could actually do. I think maybe some of these communication issues back in those days were not so. They were easier to deal with just because of the pace of change. And I think as soon as people like Mark began to work with configuration management and letting people do things at much more scale faster, I think it really began to stress some of the communication and collaboration issues.
Well, whether Mark likes it or not, and he's not here to defend himself, the ideas that Mark had and kind of the discussions and the papers and the tools definitely influenced all these other people, Luke and Adam, in turn, that contribute to what now people, and you often hear people accuse some of the conversation being too tool focused, but I definitely have a lot of love and respect in my heart from the work Mark's done to kind of create some of the opportunities.
Yeah, and it is actually very interesting the way CFEngine and then Puppet and Chef evolved. We all solve similar problems in slightly different ways, and while I'm sure each of us would, as well as Ansible and Salt, we'd all essentially like everybody to use our tool. The fact is that we solve a problem in our own unique ways, and I think the important thing is that we embrace the principles that Mark really believes in, as far as automation and making it easy, while still maintaining control of your systems. I think as long as we stay true to those principles, and the tool, as long as you use something, that's the important part.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think kind of to your point, and there's other things I've written and talked about this before, but if you're philosophically aligned with the principles of the particular tool, then that tool is going to be a joy for you, right? And if you're not, then some of the tools seem like they're antagonistic. But it's often, finding the match with your own kind of assumptions about how the world could and should work that makes the difference.
Absolutely.
So what do you see kind of, I mean, CFEngine sort of resurged, and there's been a new version, right? So CFEngine 3 is very different than kind of the CFEngine that was out there back in the day. And I don't know, I haven't built like a massive cluster and managed a CFEngine before, so I don't know some of that stuff. But maybe you could just say a bit about why it's exciting work for you to kind of see the clients and what they're able to accomplish right now.
Okay, so we actually did quite a lot of simplification between CFEngine 2 to CFEngine 3. People were writing policies that were getting kind of out of control with a lot of copying and pasting of text in the policies. So we actually made significant changes to the language, so things are much more modular. But at the same time, we've always stayed, true to the beliefs of how CFEngine should be. We've stayed to the fact that we're written with lightweight C agents, so we haven't sacrificed our core tenets of speed, scalability, stability, and security while we've been doing the simplification side of things. We are putting a lot of effort into helping do things more at scale, especially around the reporting side of things. So it's a very exciting time for CFEngine, especially given the speed and the security of things. The financial services industry seems to be somewhere that there's a lot of excitement for us, and I'm sure for a lot of other people.
I think it's in general, whether you're in the configuration side or the infrastructure side, it's a very exciting time for anyone. And this is a proliferation, explosion of technology, the pace of the technology, the scale of technology. You can't help but be excited.
Yeah, and I think one of the key things that excites me is, to use the horses and unicorns terminology, is trying to actually bring the how Amazon, Etsy, Facebook, etc., how the unicorns work to the regular Joes that are out there.
Absolutely. So to finish up, I've been asking all the sponsors the same question, which is, what does an organization like CFEngine get out of sponsoring the community events like DevOps Days?
Well, I mean, a lot of the really exciting things, is happening in these community events. This is where people get together and they discuss really awesome ideas. So purely from an intelligence point of view, you get a lot of really valuable feedback about product direction and where the industry is heading. This is where the decisions are being made right now. And it's also really good to give back to the community. When you work in with software that's sort of a mixture of open source and commercial, we get a lot of different community contributions, a lot of feedback. So by actually supporting events like DevOps Days Pittsburgh, we really, not only do we give back, we keep in touch with things, and we participate. And I think that's the key thing. You don't want to have people, well, vendors in particular, that just sit in their ivory tower saying, we think you should be doing things this way. By getting out there, sponsoring, talking, and participating, I think we can help move things forward, in an inclusive way.
So speaking of participation, I saw you about 2 weeks ago in Austin, and we got to play some werewolf. And I think we're going to attempt to have an epic game of werewolf.
I'm definitely looking forward to it. I've got my partner in crime coming with me to Pittsburgh, and I told her that she'd better get ready for a game of werewolf.
So we'll look forward to seeing you in Pittsburgh in a week from today. And
Yeah.
thanks for your time today, Jonathan.
Thank
Cheers.
you. It's been great chatting with you.
Cheers.
See ya.